Hey folks. I thought we'd have a little fireside chat. I am stunned by the amount of people that have reached out to me for my little video. I cannot believe it. I have been fielding questions and messages and texts all day yesterday and today. It's pretty mind-blowing. I think I'm gonna get my wish. I think I'm gonna get my little community that I want. So that's very cool. I'm having a cocktail. This is Bombay gin and seltzer with an olive and lemon. And it is delicious. So what I wanted to talk about real quick is I'm getting a lot of good feedback from you guys, and I'm getting a lot of good questions. And I started laughing because I thought about some YouTubers that have like hundreds or thousands or millions of subscribers, and how they literally would have to have a team of people helping them, because just my tiny little space, it's got literally just 30 some people, and it has kept me jumping, kept me super busy. I'm not complaining. I think it's great. I think it's great that everybody has this interest in a healthier lifestyle. It's the beginning of the year. We all want to, get looking good for summertime and stuff. So I think it's great. So I just wanted to say thank you to everybody for all my new subscribers, and for my old folks that have stayed with me, all, two of us. One of them is myself. I appreciate it a lot, so thank you. Questions that I'm being asked are about quitting wheat. I think that resonated with everybody because it's a simple thing, it's a simple step that you can do, but there's some confusion around it. And just because something is gluten-free doesn't mean that it's good for you. It's typically, if something's gluten-free, that means that it's still highly processed and it's got a bunch of refined whatever in it to take the place of gluten. And that's gonna be high carb, and we don't want that. Now, some of the people that are following along or are in our little community are doing Weight Watchers. Some people are just gonna quit wheat. Some people are all about doing, keto. Some people are, just kind of dabbling with low carb. I am the most familiar with, I'm gonna share what's worked for me. And I am the most familiar with low carb, high fat, and keto. I know about keto. I don't necessarily practice it. So that's where I'm coming from with this. I just wanted to kind of be clear on that. I can't guarantee anybody's results. I can't guarantee that quitting wheat is gonna give you the same. I still think everybody should do it. I don't think any of us should be eating wheat, but I can't guarantee that you're gonna get the same results from it that I did. I hope you do. I hope so, because it was amazing. You may have to go further. I'm sure you'll have to go further. But to start, that's a good starting point. We'll put it that way. Eventually, you're gonna have to eat a proper human diet, which does not include grains and it does not include sugar, if you wanna get really healthy. This lifestyle is also not just about weight loss. This is about optimizing your health. And your weight is going to regulate where it's supposed to be. If you need to gain weight, you will gain weight. I don't know many people like that. But if you need to lose weight, you will lose weight. And I kind of wanted to put that out there and clear that up. A lot of people want to know how to get started. And I told you how I got started, which was just quitting wheat. I think you could do better, and it's not really that hard. So yes, quit wheat. Ultimately, you're going to want to quit grains, all grains and sugar. but also eliminate the shitty oils. Drink. And those shitty oils are, I have them written down here because I don't have all of them. This is not an all-inclusive list, but like canola, corn, Crisco, vegetable oils, that's all shit. They are highly inflammatory. They are highly processed, highly inflammatory. You don't squeeze a piece of corn and get some oil out of it. You get some white milky shit. It's not natural. You can squeeze an olive and you get oil out of it. You can squeeze, I was gonna say you could squeeze a cow and get tallow out of it. That is very funny. That's not true. You can, the bottom line is that they have to go through these industrial seed oils have to go through these like insane processes to make these oils, one, not stink like super nasty, two, look okay to the human eye so that we're gonna be like, oh, okay, that looks fine, to not have taste, and to, I think I already said look. So, I mean, you get the gist of what I'm saying. Okay, so eliminate those craptastic oils and replace them with healthy fats, which would be cooking with animal fats, bacon grease, tallow. You could use avocado oil, which doesn't have a flavor, and coconut oil. I think it's unrefined coconut oil or refined coconut oil. One of the two doesn't have the coconutty smell and flavor in case you need that as an option. Olive oil, a lot of people cook with olive oil and that's great, but it has a specific taste to it. And sometimes you don't want that taste in whatever your in some of your recipes. This is, it's quite the challenge for me to talk to. I have to imagine people standing over here, and I think what I'm gonna do is get small little pictures of all of the people that have reached out to me and that are interested in some of my subscribers, and kind of put a little poster board under my camera so that I can see who I'm talking to, because I think that's gonna really help me. Because right now when I'm just sitting in my living room all by myself, it feels weird talking to a black box on a stick. Okay, so eliminate the bad oils, start to incorporate the good oils. Don't use up those bad oils, just get that shit out, man, just throw them out. It's nasty. Eliminate grains. Don't cut, we're not talking cut down, we're talking about eliminate. Get it out. Literally affects your body equally as bad, if not worse, than eating straight sugar. That's a big deal. So be ruthless, this is your life, get that shit out. And then eliminate sugar. Don't be afraid of sugar substitutes. They've gotten a bad rap, and they've gotten a bad rap because, a lot of people say, well, they cause cancer or whatever. Here's the thing. The sugar industry funded the research, the supposed science that looked into sugar substitutes causing cancer, and shocker, they came up with the data that says that drink. The sugar industry is behind the science that says that these alternative sweeteners cause cancer. Particularly aspartame, I think it was. They fed those, the science fed those rats or mice or whatever it was, the equivalent to 500 cans of soda a day. Well, fuck yeah, that's gonna cause cancer. No one's gonna drink that. It's impossible. So you're one or two, do I think you should drink sugar or diet soda all day long? No, but if you have one every day or every other day or every now and then, I don't think it's a big deal. I really don't. You got bigger fish to fry. I think the scary part for a lot of people quitting sugar is that we all realize that we're addicted to it. I understand that. I get it. I do. One thing that you could do to help yourself is substitute eating candy. Like I know one person asked me, they like to have, lots of people actually have mentioned that they like to have a piece of candy after, like 1 or 2 pieces of candy after they eat, after dinner. I get that. I like that too. That's definitely part of the addiction. I'm not sure. I want to be transparent, and I can't say that I have cut all of that out of my life. I have cut sugar out of my life for sure. But it's been 4 years, and do I still enjoy sweets now and then? Yeah, I do for sure. So I went and bought a couple of bags of Russell Stover's candy, sugar-free candy. Y'all, that shit is good. That shit is good, but you need to be careful. Don't eat a bunch of it. Don't eat more than a couple of pieces. Shoot, I forgot to look for my favorite kind too. Damn. My favorite kind is the bar sea salt caramel dark chocolate. That is perfection. Ooh, that is perfection. Don't eat more than 2 pieces because it can give you some digestive upset, meaning you're gonna get rumbly in your belly. You could get gassy. It doesn't happen to everybody, but when it happens, it happens. And if you live alone, that's cool. But if you don't live alone, you might end up getting divorced or separated or something. And if you eat more than a couple of pieces don't typically hurt anyone. When you first try it, you're gonna be like, damn, this shit is so good. I'm gonna eat up this whole bag. Don't do that. You might get disaster pants too. I feel like my lips are really tight, like old lady tight. I don't know, maybe because you're old. So that's how you can get started. I don't want this to be like a super long video. I just wanted to really jump in and say thank you so much for reaching out, all the questions, all the excitement to take your health back. I think it's fantastic. I'm gonna go through and literally look at every single specific question and answer them. I just wanted to come back really quickly and tell you that I'm very excited for this. I can't wait to see all of your successes. It's like I said, if any of you experience half the success that I have, I think you're gonna be pretty happy with that. Here's some pro tips that I wrote down. Get a good scale. You don't wanna be weighing yourself and have that thing telling you that you weigh more than you actually do. That was my case. But I'm not saying I wasn't as big as I was, because I for sure was. Oof. So get a good scale. Get a tailor's tape, or one of those fabric tapes. Measure your waist, measure all your parts, and do it right away when you're starting. I did not do this. I only measured my waist, and I regret that because I would love to know how many inches I lost off my big old linebacker neck. Measure your neck, your chest, each arm individually, your waist, your hips, your thighs, and your calves if you want to. I did that this time around just to see because like I said, I wanted to try to get closer to keto more than just low carb, what I'm doing, because I want to start working out, so I wanted to see how all that impacts my body and what that looks like, besides visually, because when you look at yourself every single day, you don't necessarily notice those changes, so I think that's a good idea. One thing that I do is I got a planner, really cute planner. I should grab it. That I track what I eat, and I weigh myself once a week. When I first started out, I weighed myself twice a week on Mondays and Fridays, just to see what the weekends did to me, because I ate differently on the weekends. So that was fun and interesting, but then I track what I ate every day. Now I understand not everybody has that kind of time. At the same time, y'all have time to get on Facebook and dink around and stuff like that too. So you do have time if it's something you want to do. I'm not saying that that's a requirement. It's just, for me, it was very helpful to see maybe where I was eating way too many carbs and I could see my weight creeping up. So that's something fun that you could do. Like for me, one thing that I didn't realize inflamed me and was not my friend was almonds, because I was eating quite a bit of them every day, and almond milk. Cashew milk was fine. Almond milk, made my belly all rumbly. It just sat there like all cold and just sat in my belly and gurgling. It wouldn't move, and that was very gross and super uncomfortable. So learn that lesson. Another thing that you can do to be successful, and you can do this in your little planner if you wanted to, is you have to plan your meals. If I didn't have a few meals planned out and shopped for, then I was scrambling to find something to eat, and then I would just start eating whatever I could get my hands on. That's a recipe for disaster. What I did find that helped me stay on track is even if I didn't have a meal planned, if I always had in the house olives, cheese, some sort of sausage or like ham or lunch meat or something, and watch your lunch meat, because if it's ground up stuff, oftentimes ham, it'll have sugar in it. And all these little insidious ways that sugar and all these different things, like sometimes it's in pickles, it's in ketchup, it's in mayonnaise, unless you buy sugar-free mayonnaise, Duke's, that's the best. So all of those little bits add up. Just to let you know, just to watch out for that stuff. But if you keep, I call it a charcuterie dinner, if you keep that stuff on hand all the time and some of your favorite nuts, then you're good to go. If you get really hungry, you can just throw together a little plate of that and you're safe. This is another thing I wanted to talk about too. I want to be very transparent about this too. So I am not perfect. I do not eat wheat on purpose, and I do not eat sugar on purpose. At Thanksgiving, I had a tiny piece of something stuck to my lip. I had a tiny piece of pumpkin pie and some whipping cream. And I was stunned at how sweet it tasted, because the only other time that I had had anything like that was the year prior. So I don't do that. But chips, potato chips are my kryptonite. I still eat chips. When I eat chips, I eat them after I've eaten a very good meal so that I'm full, so I'm not gonna binge and eat that whole bag. And I also eat them with a fatty dip. Granted, most of the time it is that Dean's shitty French onion dip, which tastes really good, but it's made with highly inflammatory oils. Okay, so I'm just gonna let you know that I do that. That's my kryptonite. I also, while I say that I don't eat grains, I eat popcorn probably twice a week. I make my own popcorn in the microwave that my friend Chef Sylvia Waldsmith taught me how to do. Put some kernels in a bag, a paper bag, a brown paper bag, a lunch bag, tighten up the top, put it in there, pop it until it slows down, pull it out, melt yourself a bunch of butter. Don't be scared with fat. Melt a bunch of butter, put it on your popcorn, salt it, and enjoy. That has not derailed my weight loss, or my weight maintenance, I guess I should say. That may or may not be true for you, which is why having that journal is a good thing, because then you can see, that's how I also found out that every now and then I would have like a white bean chicken chili, and I would have tortilla chips with that. I'm thinking, twice a year, twice a season, that's not a big deal. Those chips had me gaining weight almost instantly. Popcorn doesn't have the same effect on me. I don't know why, I don't care. At least I get to still eat popcorn. So I'm not 100%. I would say that I probably operate at 95% staying on track. But my staying on track, my getting off track is never gonna be eating a Snicker bar. It's never gonna be eating candy like that. If I'm gonna get off track and eat poorly, it's gonna be with a sugar-free alternative, or Russell Stover's, or sugar-free Twizzlers. Those are the shit. So just wanted to share that with you. Those are some alternatives to get you through getting off of regular sugar. And it's very helpful. Ultimately, would I like to get all of that shit out of my system? Yeah, realistically, is that gonna happen? It hasn't yet. So I just wanted to be honest about that. So, okay, still on that topic of knowing your weaknesses, and mine are salty, crunchy things. Know that about yourself and then find a substitute for that. So, okay, so the chips and dip thing. I ate not this week, but last week and half of the week before, I probably had a couple of bags of chips. Like family size, not family size, but like a couple of, not personal size either, whatever the in-between shit is, with some dip. That's not the best choice. It's high carb, one, and they're cooked in highly inflammatory oils. And my hands were hurting, and that's probably why my joints were getting inflamed from that. So an alternative, which I made today, is, I feel like I'm being very preachy, and I don't like that. I wish I had a person that I could look at. I look at Joanna Gaines, the book that's right there. No, then I'm not connecting. So today I cut up strips of bacon and I fried that up, and then I made a dip for that, which was cream cheese, sour cream, equal-ish parts, and some fresh chives. And that shit's good. That is super satisfying, super tasty, super satisfying. So that's an alternative from me buying potato chips and French onion dip. So think about those things and then plan for that. So another thing that I can eat instead of bacon with that would be, I also cut up some vegetables. I cut up some peppers, red peppers to go in that, to dip. I'm a dipper, I like to dip things, so that's an option. This feels very clunky and cringy. Oh. Real quick before I forget. One thing to really, okay, we've talked about a couple of books that you can look into to get you going here. Something else that you could look into is on Amazon Prime, a movie called Fat Fiction. I don't remember if it's free on Prime or if I'm pretty sure that I own it, but I don't know if it's free. Watch that. That literally answers all the questions of how we got to where we are and all of the reasons why it's not going to change, and how I'm pretty sure that our economy would completely collapse if it did change, which is why it's not going to. Super informative, super fascinating. And I watch that every time if I start to struggle, which isn't really a thing anymore. I watch it for motivation, put it that way, for motivation. And it might really help you. There's also a movie or a documentary called Fat, a Documentary. And then there's also Fat, a Documentary 2. And all three of those movies have a bunch of my heroes in it. And they're all highly reputable people. There's no randos out there. That's just some random YouTuber. I'm not even a YouTuber. Okay, that's hilarious. Except I am. Okay. It's not just a bunch of random people like me that are just saying that these things are facts. These are actual professional people, investigative people, journalists, doctors, cardiologists, all the things that are talking about facts, science-based facts to back this up, and how we have been given all of this information, this cherry-picked information that does not have scientific backing. So check it out. I actually watched 2 of these movies again today just to refresh me so that I could talk to you guys about this kind of stuff. All right. Well, it was good to see you guys again, and I will be back soon. Just wanted to make a quick little video to say thank you, and I'm very excited for you guys. Peace.